I couldn't have agreed more with Brene Brown when she said that you are imperfect, you are wired for struggle, but you are worthy of love and belonging. See, recently I was told, and she's probably in this room, so hopefully she won't be offended, that I need to stop telling people to be so open with their crew. Well, I'm here today to say forget that. This is a public talk, so I won't use the words I really would have preferred to use. But seriously, her advice was completely wrong. Because that's what's wrong with corporate America. That's why millennials, who, by the way, in 2020 will make up almost 50% of the workforce, that's over 75 million people nationally and at least 37,000 in our small area alone. It's why they rebel against corporate America. It's why they care about the heart and the vision or the global impact that a company makes over the salary that they're offered. It's not that they don't want to make money or that they just want to travel the world. It's that they've seen what it's like for not for employees, but for employees who perform work without any sort of intrinsic value. They've witnessed a generation make decisions based on money, and they have seen what corporate greed actually looks like. Because the persona of this generation is that it wants to be rich and to do good. It wants to provide for itself. It's just that providing for ourselves looks different than it did for those before us. So, if you're not a millennial, or maybe even a Gen Xer, I'm here to share with you how to create a culture where you get to keep your staff, your turnover is low, and your business still continues to grow. It's not profound, nor is it complex. Simply look for employees who have a majority of the skills that you're looking for, but who also happen to enjoy people. Then, as an employer, like your people, right? I'm a 31-year-old business owner who's been doing this business thing with my husband for about 12 plus years. And what I have learned is that people just want to be known. My purpose as an employer is to make my crew feel wanted. But I also am supposed to make them better contributing members of society. And my job is to show them that they can be a boss and a parent. They can pursue their dreams and give back. My husband and I are an example to our crew of what it looks like to carry an entrepreneur's drive, but to be wholeheartedly committed to each other and to our children. And as we hold ourselves to a different standard, we try every day to do a better job of knowing the individuals who make up our crew. Because people just want to belong. We want to know that we're unique enough, that we're special, but we also want to have that feeling in our gut that we are valued and that we matter. This is one of the reasons why religion is so successful. 85% of the world belongs to some form of religion. This is why, as parents, we enroll our kids in youth sports programs, or why, when they're older, they join fraternities and sororities or rec leagues. They so deeply want to belong that you can imagine what it would be like if every business owner, every entrepreneur, and every government agency actually took the time to know their people. And it's really not that hard. There are lots of resources out there. A few that we use are the Myers-Briggs, DISC profile, love language tests. and I could probably tell you the letters of a majority of our crew. DI, ID, SC, not a lot of D in that guy. ENFJ, 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 and I have no idea why it is that 80% of our crew are all ENFJs. And I'm not kidding, probably 175 of them out of the 200 plus all have the top love language of words of affirmation. That's a little bit hard if you know me, because that one doesn't even register on my list of human needs. But as an employer, that's a piece of cake. If you get an employee whose love language is words of affirmation, that's a jackpot. Goes like this. Hey, Rochelle, I super appreciate that you get all of your reports in all the time, and I never have to bug you about deadlines. Cool, right? Because that took me all of, 5 seconds? But for her, that's like the emoji where there's hearts instead of eyes bugging out of her face. I'm telling you guys, this stuff's not hard, but it's only as useful as we are at implementing it. So let's talk about 3 of our specific employees for just a second. The way that Dylan feels appreciated is not the same as Christian. Dylan highly values quality time with his wife, so the impact that we make when we pay for them to go on a really nice date is completely different than if I was to stand up here and say, Dylan, you're awesome, which he is, but that's what Christian needs. Christian needs to hear. He needs to hear me say in front of hundreds of people that I am proud of him and the personal growth that he has made in the last year. And then there's Gabrielle. She's probably the easiest one. She needs a lot of eye contact, a lot of high fives, and hugs. And she will literally run circles around everyone else. See, I'm not telling you that you have to dump the rules or give the laws of your state a giant middle finger, although sometimes I really wish that I could. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter if you're an HVAC company or some sweet tech startup. It's your business, and you get to decide what the culture of your business actually looks like. You don't have to be dictated by the laws of California on the way in which that you treat your crew. They need to know that their boss is not just an employer, but somebody who cares about them and the company. See, they need to know that their boss is not just an employer, but somebody who cares about their company. Most of you in this room probably think that I'm in the coffee business, which I'm not. I am in the people business. I am in the business of building relationships and adding value to people's lives. And this is how we impact a community. This is how we are given the opportunity to love on our people and to be given the opportunity to impact lives in a way in which that is not usually possible. So, I know that I've said a lot of things up here, and I really encourage you to do your own research. I suggest that you go out and look up Southwest Airlines, Gary Vaynerchuk of VaynerMedia, homeboy's a baller, Dave Ramsey of EntreLeadership, pretty much anything by Patrick Lencioni or Jim Collins. Those guys are just a handful of my faves. Because this stuff's not hard, but we should just do it. Let's just start pouring over our people. Let's start encouraging them to pour over our customers and our clients. Because when we do that, that's how we change communities. That's how we create a place where our press no longer has to deal with crime, but about being the place that other communities look at and say, wow, how do we do that? That's a place where politicians don't solve problems, but that the people do. That's a place where we stop thinking that if we just have someone else in charge, then maybe all of the things that stink will get better. It's a place where if you have an idea or a solution, then you go after it. It's a place where we start sharing what's working and we stop criticizing what's not. Because if we are going to be dedicated to creating better communities, then we first have to change the way that we interact with the people who we directly communicate with. So, this sort of change doesn't happen overnight. So if you guys are really dedicated to making better communities, then let's roll up our sleeves and let's start loving on the people around us. Thank you.